So the iPhone will be released with 3G capability in 2008.
Mr. Stevenson, aren't you afraid of angering Apple and Steve Jobs by announcing this?
I'm quite sure that Apple and Steve Jobs will be fine with this announcement. Welcome to Mac Life Rumors, our weekly rumor show leading up to Macworld Expo. I'm here with Eugene Robinson. I'm Roman Loyola. Our first rumor for the week is Apple TV. Rumors came out today that Apple TV might support a movie subscription service through iTunes. So, Eugene, what do you think about that?
That much I hadn't heard. That the movie subscription service. The meditation on whether or not Apple TV was dying on the vine is something I had been thinking about.
Yeah.
So the subscription service through iTunes is what then? You sign up and they pay you.
I guess it would be right. You would have a subscription fee and then it would expire, so to speak. I'm guessing that's how it would work.
Well, you know, it's weird. I 10 years ago divorced myself from TV. Right?
Yeah.
I had 4 or 5 TVs in the house, and I got rid of them all, you know. And there's one TV left, and I figured, well, you know, I'm getting rid of cable, you know. I get rid of cable, so you don't want to watch TV without cable, you know. In case you want to watch videos, you have the TV. But I'm totally disengaged, and I keep waiting for that moment with TV where I figure, now I got to get back in.
Yeah.
TiVo was one of those moments where I thought, I got to get back in. And so Apple TV, of course, I started thinking about. And having it be hooked up to iTunes is kind of tantalizing because iTunes is a familiar interface. You know, it's easy, it's simple to figure out. But it's still, at the end of the day, for me, TV. So I don't know if it's going to work.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, even for people who like TV, I don't know if, you know, being able to go and click on The Office and getting The Office, which is the big deal now through Netflix, you can get it with NBC. What's that? I mean, I'm only watching sporting events myself, so, and only one specific sporting event. So it's strange. I'm completely incapable of judging this.
Figure skating. You're really watching figure
rhythmic
skating.
Gymnastics is my thing, you know. So I don't know if it's going to swing. I'm really in the blind as to whether or not that's going to happen.
Well, you brought up the dying Apple TV thing. The reason this rumor came up is because someone from CNET wrote an article analyzing Apple TV and why it hasn't caught fire like other Apple gizmos. And, you know, that was the gist of it. Why hasn't it caught on? And, you know, it's a whole internet TV phenomenon that hasn't really caught on yet. It's really in its small infant stages. So one of the things that might help it catch on is the possibility of movie rentals. You know, I think movie rentals will help, but I still think there's somewhat this disconnect between TV on your computer, you know, using iTunes to transmit it, and an Apple TV to transmit it to your TV, and then just the whole TV. You know, I think there's a whole disconnect. I think maybe it's a generational thing as well. You know, a younger generation's used to accessing their computer for TV content, so maybe that'll catch on that way.
Well, I would also say that the whole Apple TV thing was poorly marketed. You know, I mean, if you're going to go for the whole Hollywood pitch, in other words, be able to explain what you're explaining to me in one sentence, I don't think they did such a good job of doing that. You know, it's like Apple TV. I mean, the iPod is a real simple one-sentence pitch. All of your music on something smaller than a transistor radio. Yeah, I got it. I got it. That's easy. That's great. You know, but the Apple TV thing, put it on top of your TV and it gets all the things from your computer. You know, there are 2 or 3 steps between getting, you know, the 65% of Americans that actually have computers. I think that number had been 50%. Now it's up to 65 who actually have computers in their homes. It wasn't reaching them, so that's what I would guess. But you know, movie rentals are tantalizing. You know, the whole blockbuster Netflix scape. You know, the widening of the pipe and the whole BitTorrent thing could be kind of interesting. I mean, you know, paying $20 at a movie for a movie theater, that's not going to be happening in my future.
So what do you think of the odds of this being an announcement that Apple makes at Macworld Expo?
Very high.
You really think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think they're committed to it. You know, I just think they haven't been able to articulate a vision. And I think that's, I mean, what else are they going to talk about? You know, they're going to revamp the whole line, but, you know.
I'm a little more pessimistic. I don't think it's going to happen at
Really?
Macworld Expo.
Okay.
Expo. I think the movie companies just haven't figured this out yet.
Right.
Or Apple and other companies have figured it out, and the movie companies just don't understand it.
Right.
And they're not ready to accept it yet. That's my feeling about it.
Right.
And so,
Well, that could be. I mean, they're really technologically backward, the whole Hollywood thing,
Yeah.
you know. And it's kind of like, it's kind of like, shooting animals that aren't very smart, like, Fred got shot, Jimmy got shot. The music industry is ruined. I mean, they were even saying that the porno industry, the $6 billion, Condé Nast, the business traveler, had this article about how the porno industry is dying, because
of digital downloads.
Yeah, because youporn.com, people are just not,
Right.
and they don't have the legal muscle that the IRA has, even though the industry is as big of an industry. So people will pay for nothing in the future.
On that note, we'll be right back.
Imagine everything that I can do and you can do together. One more time, it's gonna be better together.
So the second rumor that came out this week is that somebody on the internet did some research and found that Leopard has the ability to, or at least checks for, Windows DLL files, which are essentially files that window applications need to run. And so coming out from that was this possible theory that Mac OS X could possibly run Windows apps natively without the need for without the need of Windows through virtualization or something like that. That if you had Windows Leopard running, you can go to your hard drive, launch what's usually a Windows application, and have it run. So, my opinion on this is there's sort of technology that kind of helps make that happen now. There's a technology called Crossover, and what it does is it's basically kind of like technology based on what's called Wine. So, which is
Wine.
Right, it's Wine.
Sounding better already.
Which is a Windows emulator on Linux.
Okay.
So if you were running Linux, you could use Wine to run Windows applications without needing a layer of a Windows OS.
Right, okay.
And so this sort of happens, you can use, the Crossover lets you do this now with Windows applications. But apparently, according to this functionality is sort of built into the OS X.
Interesting.
And so, what does that mean to Windows development, software development on the Mac? That could be be huge in terms of what that means for software development.
Right. I got nothing. That's I mean, likelihood of it happening or not. I don't. That's what we're trying to decide. I don't know.
Apple has proven that they've done things or they've implemented things that aren't fully fleshed out, whether it's in the OS or in hardware or whatever.
Right.
I think this is one of those things that maybe it could happen if they develop further development into it. I don't think it's going to be a big announcement at Macworld Expo.
Right. No.
I don't think it's something that'll happen at Expo. If it does happen, it would probably happen. I don't know when. Probably like more at the developers conference.
It's funny. I used to have an editor in LA who would scream at me. I'd send him files, articles from my Mac, and he would go, "Damn it! Why don't you? Don't you realize only 2% of the people in the world use the computer system you're on? Just save it in a text file and send it to me." And then and now, the whole PC side of the equation is a complete non-factor for me. I just don't even consider it as, I mean, sometimes I'll see somebody on an airplane, they've got like another type of computer, and I was like, that's strange.
Yeah.
What a strange. And I mean, I'd been fairly agnostic for a long time.
Yeah.
I haven't worked at Intel and then at Apple. I'd been fairly agnostic until, I was been at Apple for some period of time and was like, no, it's a better system. And since then, I don't even consider it. Like, what is there in Windows that I need that I would want to use? The whole file system. I'm out. I'm gone.
Well, taking that into consideration, you could also think as a developer or somebody who's making a switch, you could think, I already have a software library in Windows.
Right. Right.
If I'm going to convert over to Mac,
Right.
you know, because I like the OS better,
Right.
but I already have these applications that
Yeah.
run in Windows, and since the Mac runs Windows apps natively,
Right.
I can just use those. And that would make a Mac developer go,
yeah,
holy
yeah,
crap!
Right.
You know, and all of a
right.
sudden that revenue is just disappearing.
Right.
So that could be dangerous for the Macintosh software development community.
Yeah.
It could be, you know,
Yeah.
it could be the bell that's tolling. You know,
Yeah. Another industry destroyed.
right.
Up there with making music and movies and so
So.
on. So, all right.
All right. So we both think that's kind of way out there. Not going to happen.
Yeah,
If
I
it
think
does
it's a
happen,
secret MK Ultra extra plan that's not for the immediate
Yeah.
short term.
so that's Mac Life Rumors. Tune in next week where we'll talk about more rumors leading up to Macworld Expo. We'll see you later.
Yeah.